So I actually have some real breaking news here for you from SoFi Singapore, as the Monetary Authority of Singapore actually issued them a financial services license so then they can open up products like SoFi Money and SoFi Invest in Singapore. Now, for the most part, SoFi has really only expanded in North America as well as Latin America, and now, we're starting to step into the Asia Pacific markets. I mean, we already have with SoFi Hong Kong, but that's a very, very small niche market there. Now we're actually stepping into Singapore, another small market as well, but it's only a population of 5.5 million people, Hong Kong 7.4 million. Whenever you compare this to like America of like 340 million, it's a different market. Now, doing just a little bit of reading since I actually found this license is that this is actually a very popular thing for American banks to do, actually bringing over a lot of their banks to Singapore, considering that it's a very English-speaking country. So there's not many, hurdles in terms of translation or many things like this that can cost extra money on employees. And it's also interesting that they don't even use US dollars there. They actually use Singapore dollars or SGD. Now, I said that this was breaking news, and it is, right? This is amazing news that we've actually come about, and maybe they'll actually do a press release soon, but we found this pretty early. What I want to bring up though is this a good thing or is this a bad thing, right? Not every single expansion means that this is going to be a great thing. Expanding out into other geographies comes with a lot of new expenses, a ton of new employees, and things like, we have to look out for things like exchange rates, interest rates, and inflation rates for that complete different country, and it's just a whole other thing that we have to track, which means that we're going to need all that staff to sort of do this. And we also face the facts that because we're only giving them a half product, only our financial services, that it might not be as good of a deal as what we have for SoFi here in America, because it's the all-in-one shop that's actually, the very, very exciting thing for people, that they can have everything under one digital roof. If we're only offering them half the products that we actually have, that's actually going to hurt us in the long run if they don't actually, want to download the app. The actual amount of, ratings for SoFi here in America is way higher than what we have in SoFi Hong Kong, with only about, 3.5 stars. So they don't actually take well to just the half products that they have at SoFi, and Singapore is going to have even, a harder challenge because they don't even have our loaning section. So I'm going to need to see a little bit more. I want to hear from like Anthony Noto and hear what their actual reasons for this expansion is. Like maybe this is going to help them later down the line with Galileo and Technesis. Because if it's a global expansion for their AWS of fintech, then I could potentially see how that would sort of play in. I don't understand how the licenses work around that. It's just something that is just way too complex for me. But remember that our financial services products is our, well, technically worst product. It's our lowest margin, and we have massive net losses on the product because it's just not that self-sustainable, because the actual assets under management are extremely low on the product right now. It's a product that suffers very early on in the early days, and as years go on, not days or weeks, years go on, it gets better and better, and the actual, lifetime value of a client actually starts to climb up. So, this early expansion is exciting because, we're going out to other geographies, but can we even afford to pay for that burn rate right now, considering that we're already having a hard time and not even profitable in our own country right now? Are we moving too fast for our own good? I don't know. In Noto we trust, right? And I'm still very excited. I don't even know if the expansions are going to cost too much money that this is actually hurting the business. The stock market continues to hold up SoFi, and the entire stock market's red. One of the most, like, the worst days I've seen in the stock market in a long time. S&P 500 almost down 4%, and yet SoFi is in the green. So it is kind of exciting, that we're actually still holding strong. It's going to be interesting to see how this actually plays out for Singapore. Now, the person that I actually got this source from, Bender 9000, whenever I was reading through, he actually predicted the Singapore expansion 6 months ago. That same person also predicted that the United Arab Emirates is going to be the next location that we get into after Singapore. So it'll be exciting to sort of see if that actually comes true. Very, very exciting. Great source that I've seen from Bender. I've actually, read a lot of his things, and I suggest you guys go and follow him if you guys are on Reddit as well. Feels way more comfortable with the stock above the $7 mark, so I'm very excited to see that we've rallied since, my last purchase actually on my last video, whenever I was at $5.10 to it now being over the $7.15 mark. I've made over 40% of my money just in that little period of time, and this is the sort of benefit of buying the dip. And as the stock sort of starts to recover, and if it ever does hit, the $10 mark again, 11, 12, all the way up, because I've bought in all the way down, that it's just going to be, that much more beneficial on the way back up to that return of where we were just a couple months ago. And if you guys haven't seen my last video and you don't even know what I'm talking about, go check it out right there. But make sure you guys like this video and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this.